This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
I told you earlier that today is going to be a good day. Why? Because I have this gentleman, this gentleman in studio with me.
My brother,
how are you?
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It is still new. And I'm happy, man, to be back.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
So many people have been asking about Benjamin. Benjamin have been on my neck. And I told them, hey. Yes. The Lord will make a day. And
right.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
That is
that
very
the
true.
two of us can steer this conversation to the next level.
That's true.
And Benjamin, I like what you've been doing, all right? And everyone knows the kind of content that Benjamin has been developing for us, the classes that we've been having for us, and we are because you are.
Thank you, man.
That is one thing
That's
I have
very
to appreciate. And so I thought it wise, Brother Benjamin, this is just the 12th day of January 2023. And I know people are having resolutions. People are having so many things on their plate that they desire to achieve. But most of them don't know how, okay? Some of us are being held up or held back by our own weaknesses. And that is why today I saw it was to talk about how to be bold to look at your own weaknesses. There is a statement that you once told me, Benjamin, I'll never forget. Bram, never brag about what you can do. Never brag about your strength. You better be aware of the weaknesses that can bring you down in a microsecond. I will never forget.
Wow, that's profound. I like that. I like that.
That is it. And that's why you're having this conversation, Benjamin. Weaknesses.
And more so, let's talk about the weaknesses of a good heart.
Thank you. Yeah.
The blind sides of a person is good-hearted.
Right.
You've heard a lot of lamentations around.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good to be nice. When you are good, people only use you. When you are kind, that people don't appreciate it. I want to be stone cold now. It does not pay. You do people good, they turn bad to you. Good heart is a weakness. There have been all those lamentations.
Exactly.
And I always ask those people, what else would you rather be? Stop being a good person now, good-hearted. And when I say good-hearted, we mean sincere, generous, a giver, compassionate, kind, loyal, a person who won't cut you short, who is honest. Even on the road, they are not able to be rude. They're not the kind of people who throw you mean gestures. These are people who are polite. So when you say good-hearted person, we mean that kind of person who has that nature. And actually, if you study it, you realize that's the psychology of God. The psychological makeup of God. You don't hear that language a lot because your teachers of psychology don't want to mix.
Exactly.
But really,
the
attitude, when he talks about the attributes that show maturity or wholeness or godliness, it is that person who has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Now you know I went to Sunday school. I had skipped the class, but I caught up later on my own. Those people who then, they did the right things by being kind, by being good, by being peaceful, by living in their own means, by being self-reliant. Why do they suffer? Why are they taken advantage of? Now, they ended up saying this world has no balance. You hear that?
Life has no balance. I hear that a lot.
It's a frustration of good people who did good. And they were still mistreated. For not figuring out the problem, they started throwing out frustrations. This life no balance. Who had promised you balance?
Right.
You're asking for who had promised it. You had been told to be, yes, as good, harmless as a dove. But as shrewd as a serpent.
True, it is in the scripture.
You carried the dove and you left the serpent.
I like that. And that is the biggest problem we are having.
I don't know why he picked those two creatures, but usually one is a prey to the other one. The snake will crawl to the nest of the dove and eat the young ones, eat the eggs, eat the dove. Why did he tell you to carry the elements of your enemy?
Think about it.
He wanted you to understand the mindset of your predator.
Okay.
Deers don't fight the predators. They escape them. All the equipment of the deer is not to face off the lion. Come here, let's. No. It's to band together as a group, keep your antennas high, eat in open plains, don't go near bushes, don't go near shady places.
Yeah.
You know, stay in a place where you can see the enemy coming from far. Have the ability to jump. You have seen those memes. A deer jumping the whole road on one jump.
Yeah.
It's those elements of knowing how your enemy operates to protect yourself. One of the weaknesses we're going to discuss today of good-hearted people, and which has the potential to be fatal, can get you killed. It's the tendency to believe in people too much. Now, I know you have been told to always give people a second chance, to forgive, never to judge. I know you belong to that group.
Don't judge. Yes.
Everybody has a tomorrow.
Yes.
You never know how tomorrow will turn out. Even you, other people withstood your problems. Yes. You should withstand other people's problems. When you're good-hearted, you're likely to hope beyond hope.
Yeah.
It's okay to be optimistic and to forgive. But I told you there are rules that apply in personal relationships that don't apply in general relationships.
Okay.
Because in your general friendships, you can stay with a friend who has glaring weaknesses for 10 years. That guy can't be trusted with money. But you've been friends since college. You just know not to give him your money.
Yeah.
But he's very good in marketing, very good at organizing our records. Your main chama. He's the one who knows where the meat is. Yes. He's the one who coordinates events. But he cannot. No, it's petty kama pesa. You know kama in money. What you do, pay yourself. Let Kama do the logistics. We know Kama. Kama is an excellent driver. Kama knows all the hotels. He knows where the best outing is. You can keep friends who have glaring weaknesses for many years by just navigating their strengths and operating on that. And so that rule of being patient with people applies with Kama.
Right.
But when it comes to Rachel, whom you want to marry, for example, or Grace, when it comes time to marry, you don't apply that.
Okay.
That's something they did not warn you about. Good-hearted people apply the rules they were doing with the general world and friendships and family to their marriage, love, relationship, partnering, soulmate. That's what crashes them.
Okay.
You may have that girl who has a sweet tooth for alcohol and she has been in your friend group for years.
Yeah.
You give her some pep talk, some counseling every time you meet because she's tipsy. She's talking foul. But she's excellent in land.
Yeah.
She helps all of you get land. And you need that girl. And from your calculation, it's beneficial to have that girl in your group. Sometimes she's not on, sometimes she's off. You're waiting for her to come back. On her account, she's good in selling cars. She helps all of you move where the lands are. And she updates all of you where the opportunities are. You may have a friend whose one side is very beneficial. The other side is dysfunctional. But because you don't bring her to your personal space, you've endured. If you transfer that kind of thinking to marriage, you're finished.
That is the mistake that we make.
Yes, good-hearted people have been forbearing with their siblings.
Yeah.
They have been putting up business repeatedly to their father. Africa is cursed, my friend. Elsewhere in the world, it is fathers who set up businesses for their children. Here in Africa,
It's the way around.
it is children
Who set up businesses?
Elsewhere in the world, it is a father who warns children against drinking.
Yes.
Try to manage their children's drinking problem. Here in Africa, it is the children who are trying to manage their father's drinking problem. Elsewhere in the world, it is mothers who warn their daughters against many. Here,
It is the other way around. Yeah.
So you may have come from such a dysfunctional family where you are a rescuer and you're used to rescuing and forbearing and giving another chance and supporting up and investing again and going back for, because sometimes family, you can't let them drown. You just try and try again. And the other time we were discussing about sacrificial lamb firstborns who were taken to school with the express agreement that tunakusomesha usomesha wadogo wako. The agreement was express. We are taking you to school so that you can also help. So it's part of your deal in this life. You are doomed. The rest of us, we do those things charitably.
Yeah.
With the conditions. Remember, I'm just helping you. But sometimes when poverty is bad and a helper comes around, that wealthy uncle, that connected. One lady told me my grandpa, both parents were dead. And the grandfather looked for all of our MPs, politicians, say, just sponsor one of these kids to help my sons, my late sons, the rest of the family. So she was finally picked and the grandfather sacrificed his own daughter's opportunity. He was given 2 job opportunities. He had the child to the late son, who was the firstborn and the one who was promised and the only one who they can anchor the future of the family on. Who was the one now telling me the story. And the dad still had one of his last daughters who was yet to get established. And they were all at the same place in life. They've just finished Form 4 and they need a part-time job to pay fees for themselves. Here is a part-time job, just one. The grandfather did not give his own daughter, he gave his girl. He said, for the sake of your young ones and my dead son, enter that job, educate yourself, see how you can help your younger ones.
Right.
So some firstborns, we can't tell them to disconnect, mind about yourself, stop that. That was the negotiation.
It was part of the deal.
There are children who live 2 lives. First half of their life is to cross others across the bridge. Then they do the bridge. Just carry people from the pit. Rescue operation. Rescue. You know, you see it on TV and think it's entertaining. Oh yeah, that rescue. Today it was quite successful. Some people, that's their life. So it comes time for dating. What is that person's energy? To endure, to give another chance and another.
Yeah.
Listen to the following. It is regrettable that the curriculum, 80% of your life and how far you go in life depends on relationships. Yeah. But we don't teach relationships. We only teach technical skills. How to do, how to handle radio, how to handle law, how to do accounting, how to balance your books. University spends 95 or more % of the time training you the technical skills of what brought you. And yet your success out in the world will be 80% something else that they are disturbingly quiet about. Relationships. It's the people around you who inject chaos or peace in your life. Yeah. Allow me to mention as I go on that some guys who have sponsored a ticket to our event on 11th. 11th February, guys, we have Valentine's. We want people to have a different experience in Valentine's. Even as you're talking about relationships and how to choose your partner, we have started having live events so that we can talk these things real life. So at Utali Hotel on 11th February, if you don't have a Valentine's plan, but it's for single people only. If you're taken, stay home. We have another one for you coming in April for couples. And a business summit in August. And finally, we finish with singles again in December to check who succeeded and who still needs more boost. So February 11th, we have an event for singles in Utali Hotel. You can check my pages. And today we are giving free 1 ticket, courtesy of Mark Dental. Some guys calling themselves Mark Dental in Thika. They bought a ticket and a book. I have 2 books. So there's Dating Right and Dreams Before Dating. They also purchased a copy each. So those who are live, our team will pick you, keep following, will pick, but you need to be single.
That's the configuration.
And you need to be 25 and above. Right. Some pre-25s have asked to come, and I told them, if I bring you, I'll keep you close here. And nobody will cut here you. You'll be here to learn, not to practical. So if you're below 25, you should not be dating, you should be learning. You should be buying the books. So if then you've been brought up as a sacrificial lamb and you've been oriented as a savior, at what point do you learn to put yourself first and say, your life is too messed up, I can't marry you? For people like Bramwell, that's a very painful language.
It is true. Very true.
And yet it is necessary.
Yeah.
I told you a culprit in the Bible who suffered that. Yes. But you keep reading past it because you don't notice it. A good-hearted man called Jonathan. Why did he die prematurely? So good-hearted, he gave David, not only did he step aside for David to be king instead of himself, he was supposed to be king according to succession.
Yeah.
But he saw that the star was on David. Told him, you shall be king after my father, and I'll be closest to you, and even my father knows it. You shall be king, not me. I'll be your friend.
Yeah.
And even my father knows it. And his father would insult him, the cat, because of that. Because he thinks you are so foolish. You're letting another person take your inheritance, your position.
Yeah.
But Jonathan could see the kingdom comes from God. And God has appointed David. I'm just a preparer of David. I'm just his friend. When you're a friend to the king, you get the benefit of the rulership without the thorns of playing the politics, making the decisions. So he was going to have a very comfortable position. When you're the best friend of the king, you enjoy the benefits of the palace without the political thorn of decisions and repercussions.
Yeah.
He was going to have a comfortable place. So, being the advisor of the king, the buddy of the king, and the guy you have journeyed all through life, and you can get anything from him, anything you suggest is like you are bound. They even had covenants of brotherhood. They were like twins. They had covenants that people have been defeated to preach because they have not seen men being so sincerely in love with each other, supporting each other, being brotherhood. Even they exchanged vows that I'll look out for you. When I see hostility, I will send a signal. When I see friendship, I'll send a signal. I'll hide you. If my father wants to kill you, I'll send a message. When I throw this arrow this way, don't come, run away. When I throw it this way, there is peace, come. That kind of brotherhood, looking out for each other. Why did such a good man die early? It's because of what is killing Bramwells today. They are so good-hearted, they can't say no to their father. He knew his father was on a downward spiral, and his father had fallen out of sync with his calling. So he started doing what we do today. The biggest weakness of good-hearted people, number one, we say they are unable to say no to people who love them and they also like them, but the person is not ready for relationships yet because they have glaring weaknesses.
Right.
Glaring weaknesses. They have problems with, they are not ready to bear the weight of a marriage, a relationship. So you're likely to marry in a sacrificial sense. You don't marry in a sacrificial sense. You marry in a mutually enriching level, not sacrificing level. Don't self-sacrifice. You do not give up your life to marry someone. You do not carry them on your back towards marriage. One girl used that language to me. I was hoping to be the central pillar of his transformation.
The central pillar.
Don't become the central pillar. Who is your central pillar?
God.
So while you are carrying people and becoming the definition for who rescued them, who will rescue you? So when it comes to marriage, people should have journeyed to a place where they're on their 2 feet.
Yeah.
There's a kind of growth you must grow before you get married. And there's another growth we continue to grow together, helping each other.
Yeah.
Differentiate the two. The first kind of growth is called formative, where you find your identity, you heal your wounds, you get to see the world, you get to stand on a plain ground, you're able to arrive to the market. You stop bleeding, stop crying, stop crawling, stop rolling, stop indulging, stop collapsing. Don't marry when you have not done that kind of growth. It is mandatory to come first.
Right.
The second kind of growth is now the one that makes you the best version of yourself. This one is not from bandaging wounds. The forgiveness of the pain you have from your father, the regret of what you never became, and the trouble you have with your body, and all this shame and riddled with guilt and burdened with pain and anger. If you have those kind of issues, solve them before you come to marriage, however long it takes you. So the first problem of good-hearted people is they extend too much mercy to people who are not ready for marriage, thinking they will grow them inside the marriage. It's wrong.
Okay.
The second thing is they cannot cut off family, especially if they were covenanted.
Yeah.
They were taken to school with express aim. And I told them, if you have, sometimes you can't run away from your family, but the key is this. Even if you are taken to school with the express aim of helping them, help them without parking your own car. Make sure your own wheels are always rolling while you are helping theirs to roll. That is the key. Don't stop, don't park your car, don't switch it off. The temptation is all your mind, your energy, and your money, and your extra time is always to their affairs, to their issues. Every affair time, extra time, you're running home, you're calling them, you're checking out on them, applying schools for them, applying jobs for them. Everything revolving around is to make sure they move to the next level. You put yourself last. When it comes time for marriage, you have clocked that day. You have clocked the age you should be settling, and you're saying it will come, it will come. Let me settle this one first. No problem. Later. Let me tell you, you're supposed to spare time that you close all that chapter and go for coffee with your friends. Go take a photo shoot. Make those phone calls. Show up. In fact, when you can't sign for dating, Brahma, you should stop. That you should assign it time.
Yeah.
Time. You can just say lunch hours are now for meeting good people. That's all. So that lunch hour is not the time to quarrel with the fundis. A guy called a lady for a date and he had taken his car for garage. So all his time was on phone supervising the car garage.
Look at that.
Ordering spare parts, quarreling the other mechanic, taking the photo, sending me the other. How did you get this one? Fix it. The lady was embarrassed and left, and she lost interest. That guy's issue was car. It is that misbehaving daughter, sister who has an attitude.
Yeah.
And the teacher is complaining about the attitude of that sister. Is this one who did not report to school? This one who did not submit homework? This one did not report to school on time? This one who is still to take maternity? Logistics of running their life.
Okay.
You can't wait until you get established for you to get married. If you are 30, one of them is still 8 years old. Surely. At what age will the one who is 8 become independent for you to continue the life?
It will be too late.
This may seem like a small thing, but I'm finding people stranded there.
Yeah.
Carrying underage siblings at the season when they should also be starting their own family, and their mind is not thinking about that.
Yeah.
You are so good at it. You're so responsible. You're so self-sacrificing. But let me tell you the truth. The best gift you can give to those who depend on you is to also become the best version of yourself. As you feed them, also eat. When you board the airplane, they tell you, should there be an emergency and you need to put this t-shirt, this mask on your child, first put it on yourself. It doesn't sound very intuitive because the baby is more delicate.
Yeah.
But they said, if you don't put it on yourself, you will faint in the process of also helping that child.
Yeah.
Start with yourself so that you have life to give. This is counterintuitive, but you need to write it until it becomes in your head inside.
Okay.
If you do not force this understanding, what will happen is, as years roll by, as time goes by, you drain and collapse.
Yeah.
Many wrote to me when we were discussing that topic and told me, our older brother did that. Today he is oddly in mid-50s and trying to date very young girls who keep running away from him.
Yeah.
He does not even understand the language of this generation. Seasons have changed. He has never married. He was always between his work and our home, between his work and our home, trying to do things for us. And the one who was telling me was the last born, telling me our parents were so irresponsible and absent. Our father was virtually just not there, went away, disappeared. Our mother was these women who can't do anything for themselves. They need to be taken care of. And they did not have any disability. Just, they're not responsible. So, us being so younger, she was telling me, I'm 30 years younger than my brother. I was born when he was 30.
Wow.
And by the time I'm beginning to see the world, by the time I'm 10 years, he's like our father.
Yeah.
Now, looking back, he just never moved on. All his money was distributed in our needs. You're good at it. You want to help your siblings. You want to help your father. You keep going. That's what Jonathan kept going between David and back to Gilboa, where the father was. He kept fighting the battles of his father. It is very difficult for a good-hearted person to tell your mother, now, these ones are your battles. I love you very much, but I have to go to my own battles.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't keep getting involved with your issues. I can't keep paying the Shylock loans you keep taking and mentioning my name. Can't keep paying the alcohol. One of the artists in this country is very high-flying. The mother takes alcohol and then he's being called by the club owners to pay.
What is the mother's taking? Look at that.
So she takes alcohol and points at the TV. You see that one singing there?
We pay.
This is the number.
This is the number.
You know, he had to call the family of the mother and give them his sentiments. There's too much embarrassment, but you've chosen that lifestyle.
Yeah.
I've tried to correct you and I can't. From now on, can you tell these local clubs that they should not give this woman beer in my name? I will not pay. And unfortunately, the woman did not change. After some years, she died in alcoholism. And do you know the whole public could now understand that this guy was right? He's a millionaire, but he could not carry his mother forever.
Yeah.
Jonathan never reached that point. Unfortunately, he died.
True.
He continued fighting the battles
Of the father.
He did not do what this guy did, what this artist did. At some point, you have to tell your parents, either verbally or energy-wise, I'm not available for your battles.
Yeah.
You continue your addictions, your bad behaviors. I'm not part of it. One of my people I've worked with from our neighboring countries was telling me the father keeps marrying more wives. And the older brother, who is well off, who takes care of family, continues educating the children of his wives. The father keeps. He is 70-something. He's still marrying younger women, getting children. This son is still building more homes for those wives. He's enabling, getting involved in battles of Saul and Gilboa. And he will die there. His life will be wasted there. The biggest weakness of good-hearted people are two. I'll tell you the third one is the first weakness is when they come time to marry, they project the sacrificial energy.
Yeah.
And they tolerate character flaws. Because they have friends who also have similar character flaws and they've managed that friendship for years. So they think they can also manage partnership, marriage with a person with a similar glaring weakness.
Yeah.
Brahman, I don't know your friends, but I know many of them are men or women. And you are not.
True.
You see them with different girls?
Yeah.
You keep warning them against it, and they say they are trying to change.
That is the language thing. That is the language thing. I will change.
And your friendship is based on something else.
Yeah.
It doesn't, that part of their life doesn't affect too much of your friendship. Could be just business friendship.
Yeah.
Could be this group of cousins. This is one of the most enlightened cousins.
Yeah.
We're trying to mentor these other kids to go to school. This guy is very learned. He can inspire our younger cousins to go to school. And because on that base, you talk like friends, you try to inspire, your concepts help the younger ones.
Yeah.
But he has a problem with women. And because you have been friends for all those years encouraging each other, you tend to believe you can manage anyone who has a similar problem.
True.
So when you start dating and this girl has also many men, it doesn't register to you that now this is a different game. When it comes time to marriage, don't be too accommodating. Look whether you're compatible in terms of values, in terms of character. Many people, you love each other, you love friendship, you can have wonderful love stories as friends, wonderful love stories as colleagues, wonderful love stories, but you cannot have a life story. There's a difference.
Okay. Powerful.
You can have a glamorous friendship story, glamorous colleagues. And you can tell us stories that are moving. We have moved, we have traveled together as colleagues. We have changed each other's lives. We stood with each other when we lost our relatives, when we had difficulties, when there was downtimes, we stood with each other loyally. You're very loyal colleagues whom you can count on. If you have a friend, you can live with 1,000,000 shillings and sleep. Yeah. That's a true friend. Do you know there's somebody, if they have your money, you suffer insomnia? Other friends, you can trust them with your money and rest. But when it comes to a life story, it's not about just chemistry now. It's not just whether you understand the situation, because good-hearted people are too understanding.
Yeah.
I understand his childhood trauma. That guy went through horrible things. That girl had a difficult relationship with the father. The father really took her through her. It's even a miracle that you can see. She has improved a lot. In fact, where you are seeing her now, should you have seen her that time? And Brahman is explaining to me the transformation journey. He has taken this girl through. I'm just hoping he's not about to conclude that he will marry her now. When you have helped as friends, remember that help is a different story.
Okay.
That person will be very grateful and they are unable to say no to you if you propose love, or even they fall in love themselves.
Yeah.
You may find it difficult to say no, they may find it difficult to say no.
Yeah.
But the dimensions of love are different. You need a person who is a rescuer like you, not the rescued. Rescuers should marry another rescuer, not
rescued.
When you hear people do what Jesus did with them, go your way and show yourself to your people that you are different now. Go and manifest your healingness to your family and celebrate together and give your offering what Moses commanded, leave your own tabernacles.
Don't carry them home.
No. One guy was so grateful that Jesus healed him, he tried to follow him.
Yeah.
The gatherings, after he had gone to the island, there was also storms.
Yeah.
And he went, this guy was so grateful, he wanted to follow. And Jesus told him, no, go back and tell people what God has done to you.
Yeah.
When you heal people, ask them to go back to their people. Stop carrying them to your house.
Thank you. Thank you.
The last weakness, blind side of good-hearted people, is that because selflessness and selfishness, okay, self-love and selfish mean the same when you're good-hearted.
Yeah.
Putting yourself first sounds like selfishness.
Selfishness.
Whenever you see a nice person, give them that quiz. 9 out of 10 can't answer.
True.
That's how unawake they are. Whenever you see a nice giver, generous person, understanding, you can see the energy. They always show the energy, how compassionate they are. You can see it in their eyes. That when you are sad, they feel it with you. When you cry, they also feel teary. When you are happy, they're happy with you. They don't know jealousy.
Yeah.
Good-hearted people don't know what is envy. They just know that if you succeed, it tells me that success is possible, and I'm happy for you. They don't know jealousy. Always throw this quiz at them to poke at how unawakened they are.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a difference between loving myself and being selfish? The vice and the virtue. You have used opposite language.
Yeah.
The vice of being selfish and the virtue of being self-loving. What is the difference? They struggle every time.
Okay.
That's a blind side to good-hearted people. I want to send them the homework and give them a few tips. Selfish means me only. Self-loving means me too.
Okay. Selfish, me only.
Yes.
Self-loving, me too.
Yes. As I create time for you, I also create time for me too. As I pay your bills, I also pay mine too. As I buy you books, as I think about your future, I also think about my future too.
Right.
Self-loving, you don't abandon people. You just don't abandon yourself. You include yourself as you divide the portions.
I like that.
The selfish person doesn't give anybody anything. They keep everything for themselves. And that is a vice which can't sit right with a generous giver. But when our Lord told Peter to go and catch that fish and get tax, he told, get one for me and for you too.
Yeah.
That fish, there will be money there. Go pay our taxes. Yours and mine too.
Mine too.
Always put yours too there. You buy them lunch?
Mine too. It's called the rule of the kingdom.
Yes. There's a time he said that when your servant comes to serve you, do you tell them to go, and when you come home in the evening, and both you and your servant are hungry after a long day? Both of you are hungry. And moody, you know, hunger comes with mood. Irritability. So both you and your staff, the junior staff,
Yes.
you know very well, they're just as hungry as me. Do you tell them to go eat, take care of themselves? No. You don't like reading that verse because it doesn't sound very good to good-hearted people. I'm sure you keep skipping it. Something called selective attention.
Yeah.
You gloss over it. He said, you tell them to serve you first, and then to sit then and serve themselves. Because you hired them for that kind of service.
Yeah.
Learn to be comfortable taking your place. Because the weakness of good-hearted people is to forget themselves. Then they wither and deplete.
Yeah.
They start collapsing. And the very people dependent on you now, you're not available.
You're not available.
Many sacrificial firstborns forgot themselves. Or the child, remember in Africa, you can be a firstborn by being born first, or being the one who's responsible, who responds to needs. As long as you're the one who's attentive and who's awake to the situation, you, automatically you carry the burden. The rule is, while you're dividing the salary, however small it is, I only have 20,000, there's somebody in secondary school, another one in college, I'm trying to get advance from SACCO. Don't exclude yourself as you split the small money.
Right.
However small it is. If you are sending them 5,000, send yourself 5,000 as well. Even if you don't have a pressing need, your existence is a pressing need. You need a book, you need a conference, attend our conference.
Yeah.
And one lady was saying, somebody to pay for me this conference. Oh, this 5,000. I wish I had it. And then later on, she mentioned that she had taken a loan of hundreds of thousands to pay fees for her child, and she has put it there in the bank for the money to be deducting automatically over the 4 years. And we told them, you have stored money to be deducted for 5 years for someone else. Your child, okay? But you don't have 5,000 for your own conference.
Look at that.
Hundreds of thousands to cater the fees of some spoiled brat so that they never be sent home. And you, a conference that could build you and take forward. When you took that loan, you should have said, me too. The loan is up $1 million. You need 400. This 100 is for me too.
Me too.
Let me keep it there. When I see a book, when I see a conference, and you need that pertains to be a good cloth, a good trip, that is for me too.
Yeah.
When you are good-hearted, you are blind-sided to your own welfare. They don't buy clothes. They don't buy clothes.
It is true.
They don't.
Shoes.
Over this holiday, they took people gifts and there was none for themselves. None for themselves. They bought until the money they fully had. And they're still recycling the shoe of last year, but 3. You literally help your siblings. You see them having happy families, happy careers, happy lives, and you're still strong. You did never say, me too. Remember that. The 3 weaknesses of good-hearted people that I want you to face this year. Number 1 is stop transferring the understanding and compromise and condoning you've been applying to friends and family to partners. It doesn't work. With partners, you need your equal. Somebody who has done it like you, who is where you are in vibration, in health, in self-awareness, in money.
Yeah.
The Bible said money answers everything, but you skip that so that you say you don't love money. We like skipping what is uncomfortable.
Yes.
That while we are in this realm, wine is meant for merriment, but money answers everything. In this realm, money is the currency.
Yeah.
You need money. If somebody is still struggling, we are not talking about being materialistic.
Yeah.
It's that you know that money is needed. Greed for money is bad. Greed is bad itself. But the need is constant. The greed is bad. The need is constant. Need is a fact.
Yeah.
Greed is a weakness. It's an attachment. You don't have attachment to money, but you know you need money. You have it in your car. You don't obsess over it. It doesn't carry you, but you know you need it, so you always stash it in your car. You have it in your house. You have it in your phone. You have money. You look for money because you know you need it. It doesn't possess you. You possess it. That is the balance. Abraham was a wealthy man. Isaac was a wealthy man. The reason Cornelius was remembered because he used to give to the church, build synagogues for them. Dorcas gave value. Money can save your life, can make people remember you and petition until you are resurrected.
Like Dorcas.
Yes. Please have a skill that can make us to resurrect you. Even when you are sick, we refuse. One guy was so sick he could have died. 4 guys carried him. And when they could not access where Jesus was, the healer was, they destroyed somebody's house and said, we'll negotiate later.
Yeah. I really like that.
Give that kind of value. The second weakness is pertains to your family. Especially when you are the express savior, appointed to save the family from going down. At what point do you learn to say no to them and stop rescuing them and carrying them on your back? At what point do you struggle with guilt and for not picking their calls? You know, sometimes the calls are meeting at you. You may think you're a call center.
Yeah.
Your younger brother, the uncle, the auntie, and the mother. And so throughout the day, your phone is hot. It cannot even be disconnected from the charger. Your head is overheating. Your phone is overheating. The problems and the quarrels you are hearing, the calls are too. Big family.
Yeah.
At what point? You know, I'm so happy not to have been a firstborn. Some of the things I thank God for, you know, some weird blessings. I used to feel bad thinking firstborns are getting recognition, they have authority. Now, after understanding life, thank you, God. So part of the miracles I'm thanking God this year. Because the only problem with my position is that I get bypassed by gossip. I hear it later when it has expired. I'm a middle child and we are very big. I was never my mom's favorite. We have never been close. We just have that relationship that is there. You know, how are you doing? We are there. We're just there. So we are not enemies. We don't hate each other. Neither is there too much love, closeness. It's functional, but it's not personal.
Functional, not personal.
The only thing is you don't get to know what is coming.
Yeah.
People surprise you with their things. I contented myself with that. So sometimes I forget that you are around. Because they are used to having those subsystems, groupings, and you were never really important in them. Now I know I was saved.
It was a blessing in disguise.
I'm so happy.
And Benjamin, I want my listeners to actually thank God because of you. Why? Because you are offering an opportunity for them to come and experience this wisdom one-on-one. And maybe somebody is asking themselves out there, how can I reach out to Benjamin Zulu so that I can get the awakening of this knowledge, so that I can come in tune with myself? Yesterday I was telling them exactly your words, Benjamin, that a time has to come where you supplement your good heart with good judgment. And that is exactly what you're saying.
So how to reach me? Let me also remember my partners, Mark Dental, in Thika Bazaar. I've posted them on my wall. They're the ones we're giving tickets. So after this, we'll announce the giveouts there. They have bought ticket for us to give out and some books. If you want us to talk, I'm on 0701 299 333. That is plus 254 701 299 333. All my pages are Benjamin Zulu Global.
Right.
That is also the email, benjaminzuluglobal@gmail.com.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.